What's up, my friends? In this video today, I'm going to be talking about glyphosate, and not to use glyphosate as a fear tactic or something to, instill fear in you, but just to make you aware of the importance of not only utilizing organic foods, reading labels, but also just recognizing that if you're using weed killer around your house, you're probably doing a lot of damage to your body, all the animals around you, and all life around you. So, the choice is yours. I just want to provide some education as to what exactly glyphosate is and what it does so you can make an informed decision of whether you think this is, a type of company you want to support or if you want to support non-organic agriculture. So, I'm going to be reading a passage here from the book Beyond Labels. A doctor and a farmer conquer food confusion one bite at a time. So, Sina McCullough, PhD, and Joel Salatin, one of my favorite farmers. So I'm going to read you this section here. So, practical bite number 23. Look for the trio. If you want to avoid GMOs and glyphosate when buying processed foods, look for the trio. USDA organic seal plus the non-GMO project seal plus the glyphosate residue free seal. So, here's what Sina says. Most people have heard of Roundup. It's the weed killer commonly sprayed on yards. It's also commonly sprayed on food crops, playgrounds, parks, and school grounds. One of the active ingredients in Roundup is glyphosate. Glyphosate can also be found in other herbicides, but Roundup is by far the most widely used herbicide in the world. In fact, it's so widely used that glyphosate can be found in human hair, blood, and urine, as well as drinking water, rain samples, and the food we feed our families, including, for example, common breakfast cereals, snack bars, and granola. Consequently, it's no surprise that an estimated 93% of Americans have glyphosate in their bodies, with children having the highest level, according to a 2015 study by the University of California at San Francisco. So avoiding glyphosate is one of my top priorities because it's damaging on so many levels. Studies have shown that glyphosate can change the gut microbiome, creating an imbalance. This is partly because glyphosate is a patented antibiotic, which means it kills good microbes in your gastrointestinal tract, as well as the good microbes in the soil. So you need those microbes in order to survive, as you've heard me talk about many times about gut health. So remember that you are more microbe than human. You have roughly 10 bacteria cells for every one human cell. Those microbes help regulate every system and every cell in your body. So if you kill them off by using antibiotics like glyphosate, you increase your likelihood of developing illness or disease. So glyphosate can weaken the gut barrier by damaging the tight junctions, which can result in leaky gut. And I'll put some of the products I recommend for detoxifying glyphosate and supporting with leaky gut. At the end here, I'll talk about those as well as putting those links in the description here. So glyphosate is water soluble, which means it can travel through your blood and subsequently damage any cell in your body that is nourished by your blood, including your blood-brain barrier. If that happens, toxins can enter your brain, including heavy metals, called leaky brain. So glyphosate is an endocrine disruptor, meaning that it can lead to adverse neurological, reproductive, developmental, and immunological effects. Glyphosate can shut down the cytochrome P450 detox pathway, which can result in your body accumulating toxins. So glyphosate is also a chelator, means that it grabs onto certain metals such as iron, copper, and manganese. So when sprayed on foods, glyphosate pulls metals out of the soil, making them unavailable to the plant. Without those metals, the immune system of the plant is weakened. So when we eat those sick plants, you can become deficient in these micronutrients as well. So in addition, the good bacteria in your gastrointestinal tract also need certain metals to function properly. Manganese, for example, helps protect bacteria from oxidative damage. So when you eat glyphosate, your good bacteria can also become weaker, which can result in you becoming more susceptible to disease. So glyphosate was declared a probable human carcinogen by the World Health Organization in 2015. In 2017, the state of California listed glyphosate as a known cancer-causing agent. In 2018, the world was stunned when a jury courageously declared glyphosate to be responsible for a dying man's cancer. In 2019, two additional juries found glyphosate guilty of contributing to cancer. So if you've seen any of the studies, there are way more than just these few. There are billions and billions of dollars getting paid out all the time by Monsanto, which is now has merged with Bayer. So, Bayer. They are the ones that are, they're hiding the name Monsanto because they built up that bad reputation. So if you see Bayer, I choose not to support them. I'm not going to tell you what to do. So glyphosate can contribute to the formation of Parkinson's, depression, anxiety, diabetes, obesity, and sleep disorders because it blocks the shikimate pathway. Plants and bacteria use the shikimate pathway to make essential aromatic amino acids, including tyrosine, tryptophan, and phenylalanine. That's a tough one. Phenylalanine. You know what I'm saying. I can't spell it. Can't pronounce it, Your human cells do not have the shikimate pathway, so you rely on plants and the bacteria in your gastrointestinal tract to make those essential amino acids for you. But studies have confirmed that glyphosate blocks the shikimate pathway, which inhibits the plants and bacteria from making the amino acids you need in order to be healthy. For instance, bacteria in your gut makes tryptophan, which is converted into serotonin, one of the happiness hormones. In fact, roughly 95% of your serotonin is made in your gut, not your brain, like previously thought. Consequently, if the shikimate pathway is blocked by glyphosate, then you could be low in serotonin, which could lead to blood sugar dysregulation, depression, anxiety, and cognitive decline. Low serotonin can also lead to low levels of melatonin because serotonin is converted into melatonin. And decreased levels of melatonin can lead to decreased gut motility, difficulty sleeping, sleep disorders, as well as dysregulation of the reproductive and immune systems. The bacteria in your gut also makes tyrosine, which is converted into dopamine, another happiness hormone. So, since glyphosate blocks the pathway to make tyrosine, glyphosate can lead to low levels of dopamine in your body, and low levels of dopamine have been linked to Parkinson's disease. So again, that is read directly from the book Beyond Labels by Sina McCullough, PhD, and Joel Salatin, incredible farmer. So you can get that book for yourself. Highly recommend it. But let's really just think about for a moment the fact that things like stress, things like anxiety, things like depression, things like obesity, things like insomnia, a lot of these things are incredibly prevalent in our modern society. And so, correlation, we can't say equals causation, but we can say that this is pretty likely a contributing factor. So when it comes to glyphosate, what can we do to remove glyphosate from our body? Well, first of all, before we talk about removing it from the body, let's talk about not putting it in the first place. So what does that look like? That means supporting organic farms. A lot of people don't understand the downside of genetically modified foods, GMOs. And in my opinion, GMOs are not inherently bad. It's the fact that they are created most times to withstand these toxic chemicals. So they are given genetically modified traits because normally, you put something like a glyphosate on a plant, it's going to kill it because it's a living organism, and the glyphosate is an antibiotic, anti-life, antibacterial. All these things work together. So when it comes to genetically modified organisms, usually if you see a genetically modified organism, it's not usually used in an organic setting. So general rule of thumb, if we're avoiding GMOs, there's a higher probability that they're not using. When they are genetically modified, there's a higher percentage chance that they're being sprayed with chemicals. When we're choosing organic foods, we want to really support those farmers because they are not using toxic chemicals like glyphosate. Now, that being said, we also want to be very careful of seeing where these farms are, because a lot of times the wind can pick up this glyphosate. It can get stuck in the water, which is going to spread from a non-organic farm to an organic farm. So in the day, we want to be very mindful of where we're choosing to get our food from. choosing organic farms, choosing non-GMO foods, and really ideally growing our own food as best we can. And if you follow any of the stuff on my page, you see how easy it is where I grow microgreens, I grow a lot of herbs. Now that it's summertime here in Boston, Massachusetts, I have my garden going. So a lot of times we think that growing our own food is this big hassle. It has to be this big ordeal, but realistically, now that the stuff is planted, it maybe takes me 3 minutes a day to keep everything watered, so we can keep it simple that way. So now I'm going to dive into some of the different products and things that we can utilize to help detoxify the glyphosate from our gut. All right, so some of the products we can utilize to detoxify glyphosate from our gut and heal like leaky gut syndrome. So first and foremost, as I said, we want to start with the things that are free. Get good sleep, allow your body the opportunity to do detoxify, drink lots of high quality spring water. Don't drink tap water because that is filled with garbage, oftentimes agricultural runoff, because you think of, the water that we're drinking from the tap or we're using from the tap. Basically, that's the water just in the, municipal water supply. So there's shit, there's piss, there's animal, byproducts. There are pharmaceuticals that people wash down the toilet. And so all they're basically doing is straining all that solid matter out and then firing it off with chlorine and all these other chemicals to kill whatever's in there. So if you've ever seen The Hidden Messages of Water or The Secret Life of Water is the name of the documentary on Gaia, I highly recommend that to see what the water that you're consuming is doing to your body. And there's a book, The Hidden Messages in Water by Masaru Emoto, I think everybody should read because it really shows how much water affects us. So start with drinking good water, eating good food, moving your body, getting out in sunshine. 6 foundation principles. Focus on the basics: moving, thinking, breathing, nutrition, hydration, sleep. Keep the stress levels low, stick there. Now, moving into things we can utilize. The Ultimate Lifestyle Transformation by Purium is one of the best. And, it's the only product I found on the market shown to remove glyphosate in third-party studies. So the main product in that is the Biomedic. So basically, this is just a super probiotic, and this is in a biodegradable hemp packaging. So basically, you peel off the sticker, and this can go in the compost. It breaks down pretty quickly, actually. So highly recommend Ultimate Lifestyle Transformation. That's basically a 30-day detoxification and also nourishing and repair. So detox, nourish, repair is the main 3 pillars of the Ultimate Lifestyle Transformation. The Biomedic is the only product shown on the market to remove up to 74% of the glyphosate within 6 weeks in their clinical trials. So I'll put the link to that in the description box here. And then so as we're detoxifying, we also want to replenish the gut. So Bioptimizers make some good products here. Leaky Gut Guardian, and this is the vanilla, this is the chocolate. So basically, the difference here is that the vanilla is intended to be a vegetarian base, and the chocolate is not. So basically, we look at the difference here. Basically the difference is that the chocolate also has some bovine collagen and bovine bone broth. So everything else is exactly the same in terms of ingredients. So I highly recommend, if you're into animal products, the chocolate has, I just think, more good stuff. If you're not into animal products, Leaky Gut Guardian vanilla is also a great option. But at the end of the day, we want to eat fermented foods. We want to be eating things that have live probiotics. Raw goat's milk is an incredible source of, organic, of course. Raw goat's milk is a great source of probiotics for our gut. Eating things directly from the garden, leaving a little bit of soil on there, as long as we know where the high quality soil is coming from. There's a lot of little microbes in there going to help with the live enzymes and probiotics as well. So at the end of the day, we just want to make sure that we are aware of what we're putting into our bodies and what we are supporting when we're buying non-organic foods, because we vote with our dollar. If we stop buying these non-organic foods, they're going to stop creating them because there'll be no market for it, because all they are business people. They want to make money. They want to put food on the table. They want to live a life of luxury. Therefore, they will do whatever it takes to make money. So if we can recognize that and say, hey, I'm going to start supporting companies that are, going plastic free, like Purium with biodegradable packaging that is doing wonders for the environment, saving tons and tons of plastic each year. I'm going to support organic farmers. I'm going to support local farmers. I'm going to grow my own food. I'm going to start repairing my own gut. So it's not one big thing. It's choosing to vote with our dollar and choosing to take responsibility for our own health. We can play the victim and say, yeah, there's nothing I can do. Or we can take responsibility and say, hey, I'm going to do the best I can to support myself, take care of myself, detoxify my gut, stop buying from these garbage companies that are putting poison into our food system. At the end of the day, it comes down to you. You got to do it yourself. So thanks for tuning in. Have the best day ever. Check out the links in the description for more on the products with the discount code, more information, all that. So love you. Do your part. Vote with your dollar. Stay true. Stay healthy. Stay free. Peace.